Alright, no transition at all. Welcome to a stream about recapping a color classic. This is kind of my first live stream. I have a few scenes set up so I can show you I'm installed on my table. I have a free roaming droid camera that I can use to show you around. I think there's one person watching right now. Not sure. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see the delay. Using my hand. I think there's a few seconds delay. Alright, so I'll just show what I have installed here. So, I'm using a Paco soldering station. I used to have a very cheap soldering kit from Amazon, like most beginners, I would bet. But after having crusty tips full of ROHS solder, and it was a very bad time, I decided to spring up for and purchase this kind of lovely unit that many people seem to have. To see my work closely, I use a cheap USB digital microscope, and it can give views such as this. So I already removed one of the capacitors from the board. There's a quick zooming. I can adjust the light. I usually put it on low light because it kind of bleeds too much. So yeah, the color classic today. So pretty standard fare. I've already done boards that look like this one. I've recapped a classic one before. It was kind of my first recapping for SMD components. Don't get me wrong, I like the classic one. It's a fine machine. It has a useful ROM booting sequence. But it was kind of my throwaway Mac that if I lose it, I wouldn't have lost any sleep over it, you know. I have more worthwhile machines, such as the SC30, which has a very similar logic board and the same kind of capacitors that exhibit the same problems. So I trained on the classic one, and then I did the SC30, and man, I did the original classic one job with the cheapo soldering kit. So it's kind of embarrassing to show how it would look like. Maybe I'll take a few pictures one day and show it off. But yeah, kind of too much solder, and I wasn't an expert with flux back then, but I was learning, so it's fine, and it worked. I mean, that's kind of the point. So this should be easy. One thing that bothers me is that I have let's keep going. So I have a cheap hot air station, and it has the usual problem where the neutral wire is fused instead of the live one. So I suspected I would have this problem because many people mentioned this. And today I verified, and I'm 90% sure that it is the case. But I've used it for a year for kind of half a dozen projects already. It was fine. Like, I mean, my wall outlets are protected with GFCI plugs, so sockets. I mean, so it's fine in theory. Um, but one thing that like I'm deciding to do differently because I verified it earlier is that I'm using a dedicated plug. Echo on my mic. Thanks for letting me know. So, oh yeah. All right. I disabled one of the audios, so this should be good, man. Let me know how it is now. And how you're doing, Geek with Social Skills. Welcome to the live feed, and you're the first participant. All right, so yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, this is problematic, but one thing I decided to do differently today is to dedicate one, like a specific outlet for it. I tried to disable one of my audio sources. There should only be one now. So maybe there's a delay. Sounds better. All right, nice. Yeah, so if it fails, it's gonna trigger like the outlet that's dedicated for it. So it should be good. Like, I mean, there's only a problem if there's an abnormal fault where a lot like the neutral wire would be connected to ground, something like that. So yeah, it should be good. I mean, worst case scenario, there's a fire extinguisher nearby, so it should be good. Yeah, I wanted to show off as well. Like, yeah, let's check what the rear camera is showing. So yeah, I've got some stickers handy from other channels, from Ron's Computer Videos and from Drake from the Satanic Mac Club and Retro Roundup, and as well as my own 1-bit magnet. And this lovely little crochet Mac was made by my girlfriend. She's very talented. She picks any goodie that she wants to set her mind to do, and she can do anything without any design. Like she's using designs from others as well, but she can figure whatever she wants to do, and she does it. And she's become pretty fast over the years. So yeah, I would have liked to get a Mackie from Macintosh Librarian, but I guess I have to wait for another batch. I joined in too late, I guess. But yeah, I'm collecting these lovely items. I would like to get all of them and collect them all. I've sent out a few of my magnets to other channels, a select few like targets, and they've received them so far. There was a problem where the Canada Post Mail wants to only limit you to send paper only, and some clerks are very adamant about this, unfortunately. But if you don't say anything and if you fold your paper a few times, a flexible magnet is just like fine. It's gonna reach its destination. They will never open the mail letter. So that's good. I've done a dozen tests now. All right, you've received your magnet. Cool. So yeah, you've joined a select club. Yeah, so let's show the actual Mac Classic itself. So I've got I bought it from Bai, from Yahoo Auctions Japan, and it was a nerve-wracking process, of course, but it came mostly intact except this. To look at my own camera to see what I'm showing. So yeah, there's a crack. I've posted about it on Twitter, but like it should be semi-fixable. but that's not my concern right now. Other defects it has is the disk drive is always seeking to see if there's a disk, and it's always asking you, like you want to initialize the disk, so that's a little annoying, but I've disconnected it and it's fine. I don't need to use it anyway. I'm gonna use a loose SCSI, of course, and maybe a RAS SCSI later. So one of my plans is to get a RAS SCSI especially for this machine, so I can mount some CD images, which I would not do with a Plus, which is the other main machine I'm using. But Color Classic is a kind of a natural match. So what else? Yeah, I've got a project I did last year, which is a WeC, which is kind of a machine that was made by the Rastery. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But this is a vintage retro DOS PC which can run native code for MS-DOS and early Windows, like up to Windows XP, I think. So it's a very small enclosure. It has all the ports you need, joystick port, PS2 breakout connection for both keyboard and mouse. You need a split cable for this. Storage is SMD, micro SD. Well, it's a SMD socket as well. What else? There's a USB, like the older type for power. There's one USB socket, which you could combine with a hub, I guess, and plug multiple things. But there's a fuse inside, so you can't draw too much power or it'll trigger. It's a polyfuse, so you don't have to replace it. But if you power the hub yourself, I guess it's fine. Then an Ethernet port, VGA cable, and single audio. And I've already took the liberty to unscrew the case, so let's see. So this is how I got started with SMD practice for soldering. So it was my first job, and I think I did pretty well. I didn't buy like those practice kits that only light like little lights or LEDs or something like that. So I went all in. And it's a pretty complicated project. There's a lot of components, like 06, 08s, 1206, which are slightly larger, but this quad flapped like chip, which has 100 pins, I think, if I remember correctly. So this is the crystal chip, which emulates Sound Blaster. Like it's a sound card integrated into the main board, because like basically this computer is a system on module. It's for like legacy applications. It's an industrial computer, very small form, and usually it's a single board computer, and there are already solutions that are for industries and such. But this is in a module package, like this gray box here, and basically the PCB was designed by the Rastery, and he made it as small as possible to make it the coolest, like little DOS vintage computer possible. So it's not a perfect like professional, like the best design options, and he says so. He's kind of humble that way, but I think it's pretty neat. Like even if the traces aren't the optimal size and everything, it still works, and it's pretty cool. And I've used it for a year, and yeah. So again, the SMD work. Maybe it's my first shot, so I had time to practice. There are like hundreds of soldering points on this board, so I should use the microscope. I have one handy, so yeah. Let's take a look. So this is the sound chip. It emulates AdLib, Sound Blaster, everything you need. It has MIDI output, which goes to the other side, and you can plug in. Sorry, you can plug in a very small wavetable daughter card. I'm using a Serta Shop S2 MIDI synthesizer, which is the S2 Dream Blaster from they're from the Belgian group called Serta Shop, and this is the wavetable header. Like you could plug a larger one, but it wouldn't fit the case, so there would be no point. But you can also use the external port of the game port to get MIDI out. But this is really cool. It fits in. It's a very small card here. So MIDI output it sounds like general MIDI. It sounds like a sound canvas, like not at the same level, but of course it's good enough. For its size, it's outstanding, I think. So I'm just gonna replace it here. So yeah, you can notice that there was no forethought for the CMOS battery, like to save the settings, the date, the time, and such. But you can add your own. I couldn't find a socket that would fit inside the case, so it's tape. And I've calculated that you need to replace it every like 4 or 5 years, so it should be good. Yeah, so that's it. That's about it for this machine. So yeah, micro SD. You can swap. You can dedicate one for DOS. Dedicate another for Windows. DOS has limitations. Unfortunately, you can only get like 2 gigabyte drives at a time, and like basically you don't use a card above 8 gigabytes. It won't be recognized. So what I do is just like have around 4 drives, virtual drives mounted in my SD card. And if I use the Windows 98 setup, then I use the full 32 gigs. So it's fine. If I could also use like FreeDOS, which has less limitations on the size, but I don't like FreeDOS. It's incompatible with some stuff. So yeah, let's start. Yeah, enough rambling on. So yeah, this is gonna be a sound test of sort as well, because I'm gonna use my fume extractor. Which is just my fan, so I hope it's not too... I ordered a fume extractor, a real one, but it's coming in Sunday, so for now I'm just pushing the air out and I hope for the best. Alright, let's put some flux here. So yeah, only geek with social skills present. So what do you got going on in your life, geek? Anything interesting? I'll get an answer in 5 seconds. Alright, I have no Kapton tape, so I'm just hoping for accuracy and celerity to prevent any damage to the plastic. Which seems to be a problem near the edge connector, but it was fine for my Classic and my SE30. Alright, flux is there. Let's start with these guys, the 100 ones. And concentrate. Working on my PET 2001, repairing the keyboard. Nice. I can't remember if I came across pets in my youth. Maybe there were some in my schools, but I don't remember. I don't have a specific memory of it. Yeah, conductive paint. Alright, here goes nothing. Here goes the unsafe hot air station. Let's start with this one. Oh, this is hot. I should put some fresh solder first. Gotta remember what I usually do. It's kind of different. And you do it live. So my temperature, my preferred temperature for my soldering station is 690 Celsius. Not Fahrenheit. I mean. All right. More flux. All right. First one down. Maybe I should replace them now, or just continue. All right. Yeah, let's do the same operation. Where is it? There. Oop. Do I clean the pads with braid? Yeah, of course I will. I'm pretty sure which cap go where. There are like 3 types of caps. The 10 microfarads. There's a single 10 microfarad. There's a couple of 100 that I just removed, and the others are 47 microfarads. I'm just removing them all first, and then I'm gonna clean them all, and then add them all. So just fresh solder here. This is a tricky one. Should angle my microscope better. This is one advantage that this cheap microscope has. It's really easy to go to an angle view. Alright, and now I should remember to actually turn my iron off. It eats up super fast, so it doesn't matter. Next pair. Gonna mine this Pecco 0063, whatever this is. I'll try not to eat that thing. I have no idea if the sound of the hot air station is crazy loud. I wouldn't think so, but I never know. You have to tell me. Ooh. I'm hearing sizzling sounds. Oh yeah, this thing is about to blow. Or it already did. Have to be careful. Yeah. It's fine. Juices beneath it are not, but you know. Its removal was more than due. Yep. Ooh. Yeah. That blew up. Nice little pop. Yeah, so check this out. This was aligned before. It kind of blew out. Maximal zoom. You can see the little gap here where it exited in gas form. Gotta stabilize my ants. Yeah. Alright, the pads look okay still. can bring it closer with the extensible neck. Nasty. Both pads are still here, so it's fine. All right, the tricky one, which is close to the I/O ports. I already put in some flux here, so that's why it looks gooey. And another 47. I can still see the plus signs for all of these gaps. Solder first. Right, and the thing I kind of, one of the habits I have is I very often close my station and I recoat my tip with fresh solder just to avoid any amount of oxidization. Oxidization. Because with this old solder, it becomes like kind of crusty, mixing types of solder, the old and the new. So let's remove this guy. Maybe I'll take it with this orientation. Alright. Come on. I can see a liquid bubbling over. Oh, it's gonna blow. Does not like this heat. Come on. Oh yeah. It's so close to getting out, but it's so close to blowing out as well. Come on, no. kind of want to wear glasses. If I pull too strong, it's going to lift the pads, maybe. Get in there. All right. Did I melt the plastic? I don't think so. But it seemed a little weaker though. Let's see. Let's put some light. It's hard to say. So yeah, it's fine. And the pads are fine on the board as well. This was one of the tougher ones though. So this is the one I just removed. Only 3 to go. These are standard ones. They're close to plastic, but not that close. Solder time. All right. Fluxy. I don't expect too much resistance from these. Let's angle this better. for broader view. Yeah. Ooh. Bulgy. Pads are still okay. Where's the other one? Yeah. And I forgot my station as well. Soldering station. All right. Fresh solder here. Fresh solder here. Let's close this. Whoa. Nasty thing. All right, they're all removed. So cleaning time. Let's pretend this. So this is one of the common ones, 47 microfarads. And for those who don't know, for tantalum caps, the polarity has to be just right. So normally the colored bar goes to negative, but this is the other way around for these guys. So let's open this carefully to avoid them flying all the way across the room. Alright, just open the layer for just one, like so. So this is the positive, this is the negative. Should be this way. It's nice to have the correct sizes for once, because when I started recapping my classic one in SC30, I hunted down the parts myself, and I didn't pay a lot of attention to the exact correct sizes I needed. So I had to make do with slightly too large sizes. Remember, not a fan of pre-tinning the pads, both pads. Just one is the way I should have gone. Let's push down this guy. Just gonna do this one off camera. All right. More cleaning. Alright, so I'm noticing that they're, like I've been seeing it, but there's no viewers right now. So I'm gonna end the stream was kind of a test of sorts. Like I tested a few setup with the cameras here. Didn't end up using it much, but it's there if I need it. So yeah. Alright, so it was a successful test for the cameras and for the sound, so see you next time, guys, and have fun.